So are you motivated to become successful, or are you motivated to help out kids, or both?
Both. I mean, I think I'm successful when I help out the kids. That's what my success is.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's say this here. Helen Keller, the famous deaf, blind, and mute author, let's not jump over that real quick. Deaf, blind, and mute. That's a lot of adversity. And she defined the path to true happiness as true happiness is not attained through self-gratification, but through fidelity to a worthy purpose, like a commitment to a worthy purpose. Mm-hmm. Remy, it'd be a lot easier if you just went out and got a typical teenage job. Mm-hmm. Say you went and worked at a Sonic restaurant or Burger King. I know my first job was at the Norseman in Cokato, Minnesota. And I remember not wanting to work there, washing dishes. Why don't you just go out and do something normal?
Well, I mean, I'm not a normal kid by now. So, I mean, I don't think I can go back from like so much, all the work and effort and just everything I put into my business. I can't really turn my back on it.
I heard it said like this one time, that the platform that you ultimately build or get to stand on as an entrepreneur, you have to build it with hours and hours of free labor. Mm-hmm. You know, so if you're standing today on this platform as Chef Remy, you've had to build that platform up with, I mean, this is probably, if you were standing on this, imagine you were filling this up with hours of free unpaid labor. Mm-hmm. How many hours of unpaid work have you put into building your brand before you received a dime? I mean, hundreds?
Well, probably at least 100.
Before you were paid anything? Mm-hmm. And that's typical. I just want to make sure everybody sees that. I mean, there's a lot of people who are saying, I want to give you an example. One of my friends from college, his name is Ryan Tedder. He's the front man for One Republic. And Ryan worked for almost a decade without being really paid as a musician. I think he was working at a retail job and then interning for free. He took every dime he had, put it into his career, moved out to Nashville. Then he moved to LA, just working every hour of the day he could at other side jobs to afford studio time and gear. And then he became an overnight success after nearly a decade. Mm-hmm. And how many years have you been building your brand?
I would say about 5 years.
You've been building it for 5 years. Now, when did you get into Whole Foods? When did that happen?
I'd like to say 2011.
Okay, so really about 3 years before you were able to get into Whole Foods. Maybe you worked on it for 2 or 3 years before you got into Whole Foods. Yeah. And I don't want to get caught up on the specific dates as much as the point is you worked a lot, put a lot of effort into it before you were paid anything. So it's not because you're lucky, it's because you're working hard there. Now, Brian Tracy, one of the world's most successful self-help authors, has repeatedly said over the years that all successful people, men and women and young ladies, are big dreamers. They imagine what their future could be, ideal in every respect. Then they work every day towards that distant vision, that goal or purpose. Remy, what is your dream for kids and adults alike as it relates to their eating habits and their access to food?
I want people to have an economical source of healthy food, and I want it to be like something that they can easily access. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want it to be like, I just want them to be able to do it, and be able to have the resources they need to live a healthy lifestyle.
Well, Martin Luther King Jr., he once famously wrote, he says, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter." He's a famous civil rights leader, but I know that it seems like every kid, if you go in to ask, I speak a lot at schools, but you'll ask a 12-year-old, what do you want to do when you grow up? And the kid will say, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a ninja. I want to be a chef. I want to be a firefighter. I want to own my own business. And then when you interview the same group of people 20 years later, now they're 32, what do you want to do? I just hope to retire someday. And I feel like that they lose that desire to do something big. And what Martin Luther King was saying here is once we become silent about things that matter, once we stop putting our dreams out there, do you feel like that for you that living with your goals out front is exciting, or is it kind of scary? Or
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I put it up there and I know what I want to do. So, I mean, I have to work towards it to get what I want to be. I mean, I'm like probably a quarter of the way there. I still have a lot of work to do and I have so much to look forward to. I mean, it's a bit scary because, like, you always have that little voice in your head that's like, oh, you won't get there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then you always have to have the other voice, like the little devil and the little angel on your shoulder. You always have to have that voice that says, you can do it, now just keep going.
Little devil on the shoulder, little angel on the shoulder. And you have to kind of, in your head, battle that out.